What's up, insiders? It's Harrison here with the Actionable Profile update for July 2023. We have a bunch of new actionable alerts that have been added, as well as new features and utilities in the Actionable Profile that you have to know about. So let's jump into the content first. What new estimating guidance will you find in the Actionable Profile moving forward? This month, there were 163 new actionable alerts that were added to the Actionable Profile. These alerts cover 25 different Xactimate categories, with the big ones being 35 new roofing alerts, 12 new wood floor alerts, 12 new door alerts, 10 water mitigation alerts, 8 framing alerts, and a bunch of other alerts in other categories. Now, the high impact highlights this month. If you're new to this video series where we're providing updates about the actionable profile and how all of this functions, the high impact section is designed to highlight, hey, these are either losses that are frequent, where you will start to see, if you're writing these types of losses, you'll start to see this guidance, or line items that are popularly used so that you'll see these alerts a lot. So they are high impact highlights. The big push this month, as you can tell, was roofing. One of the newest hires here at Actionable Insights, Derek Stone, our Associate Director of Membership Resources, has been a huge help in getting a lot of our roofing alerts over the finish line and into the actionable profile. And the biggest push this month was to address commercial. So if you're writing roofing claims in either a residential environment or a commercial environment, the actionable profile now has alerts that will pop up and provide you guidance to ensure you have no omissions. You haven't left anything out of your scope, a line item that you should have included, as well as no overages. You're not going to make any mistakes, or if you are, we'll help catch it and at least make sure that you have the chance to justify it as to why you might be deviating from what would be standard when using those Xactimate line items. So huge push around roofing this month to cover both residential and commercial. If you're writing roofing claims, the actionable profile just got a huge upgrade for you. Now, let's jump into those features and utilities. I've got a brand new Actionable ESX here, Actionable Profile ESX, for you to take a look at. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to bring your eyes to the bottom right side of this XactXpert drawer. There's a new key or legend that has been added to XactXpert drawer. And if you were to click it, it brings up this window that talks and highlights about the different types of alerts in the XactXpert drawer. And so Cole has gotten this question a lot around, hey, this XactXpert drawer that you see there in the closeout of this legend key has been added to the standard carrier profile recently. So you have the carrier profile, you have the contractor profile, you have the actionable profile, and then you would have carrier specific profiles like the nationwide profile and the Liberty Mutual profile and the like. So this drawer, XactXpert, has been enabled in the standard carrier profile. Now, I want to be clear here. The actionable alerts that we just referenced are only exist in the actionable profile, in this profile tab here, when you are working in the actionable profile. If you are working in the carrier profile, the only alerts in there are the historical legacy alerts that have always been in the inspection engine. If you've ever gone to hit complete and you've tried to work through some alerts that have provided some guidance to you, it's the same alerts in the carrier profile that has always been there. Our actionable alerts are not in the carrier profile. They're only in the actionable profile. So hopefully that provides some clarity as XactXpert is turned on and enabled for more profiles and more places, so that you guys get familiar of, hey, if you want actionables guidance while you're writing your estimate, it only exists in the actionable profile. Now, to jump back to this legend and key, what I wanted to highlight here are there are 3 primary types of alerts: violations, warnings, and cautions. And if you've been using the actionable profile, you've pretty much only ever seen orange warnings. You have never really seen red violations because none of our custom alerts are in red violation form. We're a sandbox of estimating, guys. We want you to be accurate. There's nothing you can or cannot do. I should say there's nothing you cannot do when writing estimates in the actionable profile. We've got no violations. To clarify, this is a brand new ESX, and there are 3 red stop violations here. These are required fields, required by Xactimate in the software. I cannot turn them off in any way. I've asked. So you still need to put in some dates. So those would be the only violations where you can actually click on it to navigate to the tab in question and to be able to enter the dates here quickly. Additionally, as many know, while we're a fan of labor minimums, we always want you to apply the correct ones or ones that would be warranted to charge for. I'm looking at you, horizontal blind detach and reset, the WDT labor minimum. If you've been to our training, you know what I'm talking about. But I just wanted to highlight here of, hey, there are no violations in our profile. We're not going to stop you from doing anything. Everything we have is a warning. So, warning, you either must follow the guidance of the alert and do what the warning alert says, or you can bypass it like you've been bypassing alerts your career and just say, hey, I'm not going to be using that alert or I'm ignoring that alert. Why are warnings important? Well, you cannot complete a PDF or you cannot complete an estimate or print a PDF if you have any warnings that you've not addressed or bypassed yet. And so this will become very important because there's a brand new bulk bypass utility or UI, how this thing looks and functions. So it's good to know that all of our alerts are currently warnings, and you will either need to follow their guidance or quickly bypass them with help of the new bulk bypass tool. Lastly, cautions. Cautions are like a suggestion type alert, something that we're not sure about, but we want to give you some guidance on. Now that we've covered the alert types that can exist in the actionable profile in this exact expert drawer, let's take a look at the bulk bypass utility. We got a lot of feedback after the great speed and performance improvements around the actionable profile back in April 2023 around, hey, all of this estimating guidance is great, but when I'm done with my estimate, I want to get through these warnings faster, which is why the bulk bypass tool was so important. Now, this little checkbox on the right side, you've seen in the past. It existed up above message summary, right here by the bypass and alert section in the top. However, it didn't say select alerts, and you might not have known what this was, so I am very excited about this UI update to make it more clear of how this tool functions, and I want to give you some updates here on how it works. So, I'm going to come over to the Sketch tab. I'm going to drop in 3 rooms fairly quickly with the R key. R key, drop it in. R key, drop it in. R key, drop it in. All right. Then I'm going to highlight all 3 of these rooms and come to my macros tab. I'm going to jump down to my shared section where in the actionable profile, all of the actionable macros are here inside of the shared section of the macro tab. And we're going to run one of my favorite insight sheets, the water heater detach and reset with code upgrades. Now, if I go into each room, you'll note here, it's the same line items from the same macro in each one of these rooms. Naturally, we have 33 alerts that have popped up, and there are 8 alerts in room 1, 8 alerts in room 2, 8 alerts in room 3, and 7 alerts overall in the estimate level rules. So if this is your first time seeing the actionable profile in action, this is a good reminder. There are room type alerts that are just looking inside that room. They're looking at the sketch attributes of the room, the line items in that room to provide you guidance based on what's happening in that room. Those are the room alerts that would be organized underneath each specific room. There are also estimate level alerts that are looking at your entire scope to provide guidance based on your entire scope, not just one room. So, taking a look at these alerts. Now, if I were to come to one of these alerts, epoxy finish may warrant concrete slab clean and prep via line item CLN CMC. Historically, whether it was in the old engine or old engine UI of hitting complete and trying to bypass a few things, in the drawer, you can bypass anything you want right here. And I can say yes. Now, this is fun for me. We've had this tool for a while. This is what I call the duplicate bypass. So let's say I know I don't need this epoxy finish alert, not only in this room, but nowhere in this scope. So I can bypass this one and I can hit bypass duplicates just like that. You can see that the other 2 alerts, the same alert in the other room that popped up, because these are room alerts that are reacting to those specific rooms, was immediately and quickly bypassed. So all 3 alerts, the original and the 2 duplicates, were bypassed with pretty darn quickly there. Now, to come to a second one, what I want to highlight now is this checkbox up here. So if I click the little drop down box, you'll see 3 phrases: user select, remaining, and bypassed. So first and foremost, let's just show you what it looks like to click just the box. If I click just the box by itself, that is a natural select all. This selects every single alert that is in the drawer at this time. And it would allow me, if they're all warnings, that I can basically bulk bypass all of them. Yes, please. I'm not going to do that right now because I need to show off the other tools. You know what? Let's do it. This is what's great about the bulk bypass tool. Ba-bam! every single alert was bypassed except for the violations that I still need to address. I can show you real quick. All I need to do is go to the labor minimums tab for this one. It'll go away. And if I were to add some dates I received and inspected, then that one will be okay too. But here's the nice part. Let's say you accidentally bulk bypassed. I don't know, maybe you thought you were done, but you weren't. You can now select all and reset. You've selected 30 previously bypassed alerts to be reverted back to their warning state. Would you like to revert these items? Yes. So then I was able to quickly reverse, and undo all of the bulk bypass that I had done. And so now I can select all. I can check again, select none. Let's go ahead and again bypass this one and bypass those 2 duplicates. Now you'll see I can also select remaining. Remaining would be all the alerts, warning alerts that have not been bypassed yet. So all the alerts I have remaining that I have not addressed, either by doing something in the scope or bypassing it while I was estimating. I can select the remaining, I can say bypass, and I can say something like done with the scope. Now, just a little note, not needed. I do look at all of these bypass reasons over time in an effort to improve our guidance. So just know that anything you type in here is very helpful for us. Please, anything more than NA or other 2-letter words that people like to put in there, just help you improve our guidance by giving us reasons as to why you're not going to be following that alert. If you guys tell us 90% of the time we're bypassing an alert and I don't need it, then maybe we will disable it because it's just not all that relevant and not helping people. So that's important to provide good bypass reasons. Now, again, I can check this box to uncheck the remaining alerts. I can even come here and say, select the bypassed. I want to specifically select the alerts that I've already bypassed so that I can reset them. All right. Lastly, if I uncheck that, we have the classic user select box, which brings up all the checkboxes that I can then check off and say, hey, you know what? I want to bypass these 4, please. Bypass. Yes. All right. And then I could say, you know what? Let's go ahead and user select. I don't want to do these 3 here. I want to be able to quickly bypass not applicable. The scope. All right. And so now you're starting to get an idea of how this new bulk bypass works. You have select all, you have user select, you have select just the remaining alerts that I have not bypassed or addressed, and you have select just the bypassed ones so that I can potentially reset them. You can hit this X to clear your selections or uncheck that box to clear the selections as well. So hopefully this has been a very thorough walkthrough of the new content that has been added to the actionable profile and new estimating guidance that you'll see as you write your estimates, as well as 2 of the newest features in the Exact Expert drawer here that provide additional guidance to this legend and key. A little preview of caution rule types that may be coming in the future to the actionable profile, and the updated bulk bypass tool that allows you to be able to both bypass and reset bypasses very quickly, all in the effort of you being able to get the best guidance possible while finishing your scope as quickly as possible. So, thank you for those of you that are using the actionable profile. Thank you for those that are following us at Actionable Insights. Feel free to continue to subscribe, check out all of the stuff that we're putting out. We're on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Reddit, Threads, Twitter, all the places that you find information. We'll be there to help you write better estimates every step of the way. So thank you, and I look forward to the next video providing you more updates of what's to come in the actionable profile.